Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with another subscriber requested video. So I was just recently asked to talk about my Al Rehab oils and perfumes that I have that they're dupes for. I think most of the Al Rehab oils are like dupes for something else. I don't have all of the original perfumes that they're dupes for, or I should say I've got more Al Rehab oils than I do the original perfumes. So I went through my collection, I pulled all of the Al Rehab oils that I actually have the perfume dupe for, and I'm gonna go through them and we're gonna talk about them and talk about how close they smell, how they perform, and just all of those good things. I do have 4 bonus oils at the end that I don't have the original perfume for, but I think that they're amazing. But anyways, I've got a ton. I'm gonna jump right in. The first one that I'm gonna start with is this one here called Cobra. Cobra is a dupe for the original Dior Poison. And this one, out of the bottle, this one is fantastic. It smells identical to the original Poison. Oh, I mean, just amazing. In the bottle. I've got the original Poison here. You almost, when you smell them both out of the bottle, they smell identical. You cannot tell the difference, however, and I'm telling you guys, this bottle is from 1986. This is Juice from 1986, and it still smells amazing. The quality, this is why I love vintagey perfumes so much, because the quality, you can't find quality like this anymore. They just don't make perfume. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think there are some niche houses out there that are making perfumes like this. Dream House of Curio, he's making perfumes like this. So those are definitely ones that are worth investing in, but it's incredible that I have a bottle here from 1986 that still smells amazing. But yeah, Cobra smells just like it out of the bottle. However, on skin, it starts to go downhill. It's just not very good on the skin. I forget almost what it even does on skin. I just remember having a very bad experience with it. And that's just my experience. Now, it could work really, really well for somebody else, but this oil just doesn't mesh well with my skin chemistry, and it doesn't smell like poison for long after you put it on the skin. I always mention this because it's such an amazing $10 perfume. You can find this for $10 on Amazon. I will link it for you below. This is a $10 clone, and it's such a good clone. It doesn't have the depth that you get with the original Poison. It doesn't have that kind of like vintagey rosewood and the spice and the kind of vintage florals, but you definitely get that sweet, plummy, vintagey goodness with this one. Oh my gosh, and I love it. And this one's a little bit cleaner and almost a little bit more wearable than the original Poison. It's so good. So anyways, yeah, that is the first one. If this works on your skin chemistry, I think you would really like it. It doesn't work for me. Out of the bottle though, it smells identical to the original Poison. So that is the first one. That one is called Cobra. Okay, the second one, I'm sorry, you might be able to hear my daughter back there. She's getting into I have a huge Tupperware full, and when I say huge, I mean it's a good 2.5 feet long and 12 inches wide. It's huge, and it's probably 8 inches tall, and it is full of lip products. So she's back there digging through everything and testing things out and just having a blast. So you may be able to hear her back there like digging through that bin. Okay, the next one we're gonna talk about is this oil here. This one is called Narjis. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And this is basically, this is a clone, or really, really similar to Eclat d'Arpège from Lanvin. I love Eclat d'Arpège. This one actually smells a lot fruitier out of the bottle. It smells a lot fruitier, sorry. A lot fruitier and sweeter out of the bottle, but this one, once you get it on the skin, it does dry down to smell really, really similar to Eclat d'Arpège. It's really beautiful. Éclat d'Arpège just has a classiness to it though. Not powdery, almost kind of a slightly fuzzy, like a fresh violet, not like a candy violet, like a fresh green violet. And yeah, the Narjis does, this one is a little bit sweeter and a little bit fruitier smelling, but very similar. They're really both easy reach perfumes. They just smell good. This one smells amazing on skin. And yeah, it's just a really nice comparable perfume to Éclat d'Arpège. Yeah, maybe a little bit more youthful smelling, not that Éclat d'Arpège isn't youthful smelling, but, or that it's mature smelling in any way. But I do think that the Narjis is just a little bit more youthful smelling. I don't know, just very similar, really, really nice fragrances, and I love this one. So anyways, that one is called Narjis. Okay, this next one, this is an absolute spot on clone. Spot on, exactly the same, smells exactly the same in the bottle, exactly the same on skin. The oil that we're talking about is this one here from Al Rehab. They're all Al Rehab, so I'm gonna stop saying that. This one is called Fantastic, and this is a spot on clone for Britney Spears Fantasy. My beautiful friend sent me this huge 3.4 ounce tester bottle of Fantasy, and I love this. I love the cupcakey kiwi goodness that is Fantasy. It's, gosh, it's such a blast from the past every time I smell this. I wore this. This was my, like, I'm sure there are a lot of other women out there that can relate to this, where kind of in your late teens, you wanted to start smelling more grown up, so you started wearing more grown up smelling perfumes. That's what I did. Or in my early 20s, I was wearing like Stella, the original Stella. I was wearing the original Burberry Woman. I was just wearing these kind of more grown up smelling perfumes. Well, after I went through that phase, I went through a phase of really wanting to smell young again, because I think when you start getting into your like middle-ish 20s, like 24, 25, you start feeling like you're getting older. That's when the reality that you're aging kind of starts to set in. Even though you're super young, you just get this, you just have this realization that you're aging. I did anyways. And so I started gravitating towards stuff like this, where I was like trying to get my youth back. I was like, wait, no, I still feel like I'm 16. I want to smell like I'm 16. And so I started wearing Britney Spears Fantasy. It was like right after it had just released in the, I don't know, it must have been like the mid-ish 2000s, maybe 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. But anyways, so this is so nostalgic. I realize I just went off on a massive tangent. Fantastic, this oil. And you can pick these oils up, you guys, from Al Rashad for $2.95. It is the best price I've ever seen on Al Rehab oils. I will link the website down below. I'll list out all the fragrances that we're going to talk about, but I'll just link the website, and then you can just search on the website for which, if you're interested in any of these. But yeah, Fantastic. It is, it's a spot on clone for Fantasy. It smells exactly like it. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love it. If you love that white chocolate cupcake kiwi goodness, that is Fantasy, and it's heavier on the kiwi. The reformulation is, it has been reformulated, but it's still awesome. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. So anyways, yeah, that is Al Rehab Fantastic, which is a perfect clone for Britney Spears Fantasy. Okay, next we have, this is a great alternative because this oil is quite expensive. It's not like crazy expensive, but if you just don't have the money for this oil, I have a dupe for you. So the oil that we're talking about, the dupe that I've got is Al Rehab Moroccan Rose. This is an amazing rose oil. It's actually like really, really warm outside today, like unseasonably warm. I think it's like 60, it's probably like 68 degrees outside. It's really warm. And I'm wearing rose perfume. I'm wearing Kim Kardashian, one in the white rose bottle. I don't know why I can't. I am the worst with names, like the worst. I can never remember the name of anything. The one in the white rose bottle. So I'm having a rose day anyways, and Moroccan Rose smells almost identical to Nest Turkish Rose. I absolutely love this Nest Turkish Rose oil. This entire line of oils, the only one I wasn't super crazy about was the Sandalwood. And the orange one, I love the way it smells. It just doesn't smell good on me. This entire line of oils is amazing. And this rose one I think is my favorite. I even like it better. I like it even better than the vanilla one. The rose one is just perfection. It's so beautiful. I think a full bottle, like a full size bottle of the Nest oil is $90 maybe, but you can get an Al Rehab oil. This Moroccan rose is so similar, and it's $3. It's definitely not as high quality smelling as the Nest oil. The Nest oil is perfection. This is definitely not, you know, it's not quite as high quality smelling. You're probably gonna have to reapply this pretty often, like every couple of hours. But for $3, you can't complain, because I had these on like side by side and I almost couldn't tell the difference, especially once they both dried down. The Nest has something in the base that gives it just a tiny bit of like a uniqueness that you don't get with the Al Rehab, but it's so subtle. You would have to have a really, you know, I'm not saying that I have a really trained nose, but I can smell the very subtle difference. But somebody that, you know, isn't really paying attention to subtle differences like that would not be able to tell the difference. I mean, it's such a good alternative. It's just such a great little oil. And yeah, the Nest is pretty darned expensive. So if you want a good alternative, definitely check out Al Rehab Moroccan Rose. Al Rehab, they have a whole bunch of different rose ones. They've got like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 different rose ones. They're all different and they all smell, they're all like dupes of something. So anyways, there's that one. Okay, next we have this one here. This is Lovely. Lovely is a spot on clone for Escada Moon Sparkle. So all of my ladies out there who love Escada Moon Sparkle know that this one is absolutely impossible to find. And if you do find it, it is incredibly expensive. So if you want Moon Sparkle back in your life, but you cannot fork out $200 for a used 15-year-old bottle, then definitely check out Al Rehab Lovely. It's a great alternative for $3. You cannot go wrong. It smells identical. It's, again, there's not even a quality difference, really. They both smell identical. The only difference is this one you're probably gonna have to reapply after a few hours. The Al Rehab oils, there are some that are total beasts. They'll last like the entire day, but for the most part, I would say probably 80% of them you are gonna have to reapply every 2 or 3 hours, which is totally fine. They're small, you can carry them in your purse. You can reapply them pretty discreetly because it's not like you're spraying something, you're just rolling on real quick. But yeah, such a good alternative, and I'm just so glad that there's something on the market besides, Rehab makes a perfume called Have Fun. I've got a couple of bottles of it as well, and it smells exactly like Moon Sparkle. It's a clone of Moon Sparkle. And again, it's only gonna last a few hours, so you will have to reapply that one as well. And it's even more, it's like $10, which is still a steal, but it's not $3 like the Al Rehab oil. So anyways, that is Lovely and Escada Moon Sparkle. Okay, next we have an oil called Soft. And it's funny because when I first smelled this one, I had so many people tell me that it smelled like, this is Aquolina Pink Sugar. And when I first got the oil, I was like, but it kind of doesn't smell like pink sugar. Because out of the roll-on, there is this slight bit of a cleanliness in the top. There is no cleanliness to be found in pink sugar at all. So I thought, it's not really a dupe, but it is. This is one that doesn't smell exactly the same out of the bottle, but once this gets on skin and it dries down, it's identical. You cannot tell the difference. This one is like, yes, this is still way less expensive than the pink sugar, but pink sugar is so inexpensive. You can get this size. This is a 1 ounce bottle. You can usually find this fragrance at TJ Maxx for like $12.99. So it's just really, really inexpensive. You can also find it on Fragrance Nut even for very inexpensive. So this one, it's almost like, I would probably just go with the original because there's not that big of a price difference. I mean, you know, maybe like a $10 price difference. And the perfume lasts absolutely forever. This is one of the oils that does last longer than some of the others, but I still think you will have better luck with the actual perfume. But it is a good alternative. If for some reason you just aren't into pink sugar, you just don't want it. Or if you like pink sugar, but you're just, you know, it's one of those fragrances that you're only interested in wearing it like once or twice a year because it's not your favorite, but every once in a while you kind of feel like wearing it, then the oil might be a better option for you, because it's a very small investment and you're still gonna have the same experience, and you're not gonna have to have a whole bottle of perfume hanging around that you're only gonna wear like once a year or something, if that makes sense. So anyways, yeah, that is Soft and Pink Sugar. This next one, this is another one that is absolutely dead on. I love layering these because neither of them perform super well, and so layering them really helps. I'm talking about this one here called Midnight, and Midnight is a clone of Britney Spears' Midnight Poison. I love it so much. Anytime I smell this, I get Victoria's Secret Love Spell vibes, but I really don't like Love Spell very much, and I really love Midnight. Somebody said that they think it smells like Salon Selective shampoo, which I like. Old school Salon Selectives, if you're like a 90s girl, you know, it really does smell just like Salon Selectives. But it also kind of reminds me of Love Spell too. I kind of get both of them, but yeah, just a really nice, plummy, fruity, just fun. This perfume reminds me of Halloween. Not only because the bottle looks like Halloween, but something about it, it smells like dark forest fruits, like dark forest fruits and berries or something. I don't know. It just reminds me, it'll always be a Halloween perfume for me, and I just love it. It's just such a fun fragrance, and the oil is amazing to have to layer to make it last longer, but it also smells identical to Midnight Poison. So if you just don't want to buy a bottle of Midnight Poison, you'd rather just have a $3 oil, oh my goodness, you're gonna have the exact same experience because it's an identical clone. It's so good, and they perform about the same. So yeah, you'll have to reapply it maybe every, I don't know, 2 or 3, well, probably this one's a little bit better, maybe every 3 or 4 hours rather than like 2 or 3 hours. But I do love this one. So that one is Midnight and Britney Spears Midnight Poison. Okay, and then the 4 bonus oils that I have, these ones are just good. And I don't have the original perfumes that they smell like, but I have smelled all of the perfumes that they smell like, and they're really good alternatives, and especially with this one. This one is called Aseel, and this smells really similar to Montale Oud Rose Petals. So similar. It also reminds me a little bit of my Rihanna Velvet Amber Oud. Really similar to the Rihanna Velvet Amber Oud. So if you guys, I forget about that fragrance, especially since we've been here and I don't have all my perfume out where I'm, you know, I don't have it all out and it's not all organized the way that it used to be. So I will completely forget about that perfume. But every time I talk about that perfume, so many people are interested, but they don't want to, you know, they don't want to have to blind buy a full bottle. If you don't want to have to blind buy a full bottle, pick up this Aseel oil. It's $3, and then you'll have a really good idea of what velvet, is that what it's called? Yeah, of what Velvet Amber Oud smells like. Is that what it's called? Velvet Amber Oud? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, this will give you a good idea of what that one smells like. The Velvet Amber Oud is a little bit more unique smelling than this, but this is really similar. And for $3, you can't go wrong. But yeah, it also smells really similar to Oud Rose Petals from Montale. So for $3, this oil smells way more expensive than it is. It smells like a really beautiful, expensive Montale fragrance. And for $3, you can't go wrong. So anyways, that one is called Aseel. Next, we've got this one here called Golden Sand. So this smells identical. I mean, so identical to Swiss Arabian Casablanca that I resold my Swiss Arabian Casablanca and just kept this oil because it smells exactly like it. This oil is a little bit heavier on the caramel, which is why I just kept the oil and went ahead and resold my bottle of Casablanca, because it smells exactly like Casablanca, but again, just a little bit sweeter, a little bit creamier, and a little bit more heavy on the caramel. It's amazing though. This is probably This and what's the other one that I love so much? This one and Dalal are probably the two. Sorry, no. This Dalal and Choco Musk are probably the 3 most popular Al Rehab oils, and for good reason. They're all amazing. I own them all. I also own the spray perfume of Dalal, which is a little bit similar to Xerjoff Lyra. It's not a clone by any means, but it's a little bit similar. It's this really yummy, kind of nutty caramel fragrance. So good. But yeah, Golden Sand is amazing. This one and those 3, they're often sold out because they're so popular. The only one that I still have left to get my hands on is Love Apple. I've been waiting for that one to come back in stock. So anyways, that one is Golden Sand. Beautiful. Okay, this next one, this one is really unique, and not unique because it is kind of a clone of something else, but this is a fragrance that if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And you have to be a lover of Lush fragrances. This is a fragrance called Africana, and this is almost identical to Lush Snow Fairy or Rockstar. I think Rockstar and Snow Fairy are, if they're not the exact same fragrance, they're very close. But it's this really clean but really like bubblegummy sweet fragrance, like really intensely like fruity, really sharp smelling, but in a good way. It's like a sharp cleanliness, but with a really sweet kind of bubblegumminess. I love it. I love Rockstar. It reminds me of, I fell in love with Lush before you could even get it in the States. They didn't even have Lush stores in the States yet. You had to order it from Canada, and they would ship it. Thankfully, they would ship it here, but it was incredibly expensive. And I remember that was around the time that my mom and I were doing a lot of traveling to Europe. So we would be able to England and to Europe. So we would hit up Lush stores when we would travel, and I would stock up on Rockstar because, again, it was kind of during the same phase. It was kind of during that same phase that I was wearing the Britney Spears Fantasy. I was like wanting to smell more youthful, so I was wearing Rockstar like a ton in every form I could get it. But anyways, I just went off on another tangent. I'm sorry. This oil Africana smells almost identical to Snow Fairy or Rockstar if you are into that. So anyways, that is Africana. And then last but not least, we have this one here called Secret Lady. I have other ones, like I have one called Mira, which is beautiful. People try to compare Mira to Chanel Coco Mademoiselle. I don't think it smells like that at all. So I didn't include any of the oils that people say are dupes for other perfumes, but that I just don't find them to be. I didn't include. I only included fragrances that to my nose are pretty spot on clones. It's an Armaf fragrance. Armaf La Femme and Secret Lady are total clones of each other. I went ahead and sold my Armaf La Femme fragrance because Secret Lady smells exactly like it. It's another like fun, youthful, fruity. This one has a touch of like a creaminess to it though. So you almost get this, it almost smells like a sweet, syrupy pear, but without smelling like pear, or a sweet, syrupy peach without smelling like peach. That probably doesn't make any sense, but it smells like some kind of a sweet, syrupy fruit, but not, but kind of an indistinct sweet, syrupy fruit, if that makes any sense. And it's got like a touch of creaminess, but yeah, it smells identical to Armaf La Femme. So if you're somebody that knows that you love Armaf La Femme, I think you would love this. La Femme is an absolute beast, so you definitely don't need this to like layer it with or anything, but if you love La Femme but you would just rather have like a $3 oil in your collection, I like La Femme. I think it's a really fun fragrance, but it's not something that I'm gonna reach for a whole ton, so I went ahead and decluttered the bottle and just kept the oil because the oil is perfect to have. It's something I can throw on, I can enjoy it for a few hours, and then it's gonna wear off, and then I can move on to another fragrance. So yeah, I love this one. That one is called Secret Lady. And that is gonna be it, guys. I do hope that you all enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.